Hello, hello, hello. How are you? This is Brian K. McNeill, the sales confidence coach. Alexa off. I do not own the rights to this music. Alexa off. I need to get that off. But I was getting myself ready for you. This is Monday morning on the first day of spring. Monday morning on the first day of spring. This is a wonderful time to launch into the week the right way. Hello, Sister Kimberly. How are you? I always believe that Monday is the most important day of your work week because Monday sets the pace for your week. And I thought about 2 hours ago, I had this idea. It would be fun to just give some quick tips. And because I get the recording as well, the quick tips on how to make sure, how do you sell your services faster? How do you sell your services faster? For those of you who don't know, my name is Brian K. McNeill, and I'm the sales confidence coach. And I've been helping people to sell themselves and their services for right at 30 years. That's right. I've written 4 amazing books on how to sell. I've got thousands of clients in my history. I've got hundreds and hundreds of testimonials. And you might be one of those people. Give me some too. So anyway, let's get right into it. This is going to be a very quick video. Brief. 3 quick tips on how to sell your services faster. 3 quick tips. Tip number 1 on how to sell your services faster. Too many salespeople, too many entrepreneurs leave the scene of the crime without even asking for the business. If you have an opportunity to present your services and you tell your rates, it is your job to simply ask for the business. And the way I encourage you to ask is, well, now that you understand what we do, can we give my services a try? Or can we give this a try? Or can we get started? Can we give it a try, such a non-threatening way to ask for the business? Doesn't matter what the client says, but you have to at least give them a chance to say yes, or give them a chance to say no. Most entrepreneurs today, because of fear of coming across as salesy, or because they don't want to seem the least bit pushy at all, they've let the pendulum swing way too far to the other side, and they don't even ask for business at all. Even though very many of them still intellectually understand that most sales happen after the 4th or 5th attempt, but they don't even make attempts. They just present and then hope. If you present and don't ask for the business, what you're doing is you're presenting your services as good as you can, and a lot of people can present well. And then you're hoping that the client that you present it to will say, you know what, that was great. I really believe I need that. Can I hire you, or can I buy that from you? You're hoping that the clients will close themselves. And that's what's called low probability selling. They are not likely to close themselves. It is your job to simply ask for the business. That's step number 1, to shorten your sales cycle. That's 1 tip anyway. 1 tip on how to shorten your sales cycles and how to close your services faster. Did anybody find any value out of the first tip of just simply asking for the business when you present? I count a full presentation is when you tell them your rates. When they understand what your rates are, that counts as a full presentation. And if you go through the process of presenting and telling your rates, and you don't ask specifically for the business, you've not yet completed. I got the hearts. Thank you very much. Tip number 2, again, this is going to be a very brief video, but tip number 2 and the 3 quick tips on how to sell your services faster. Quick number 2 is, do not end any meeting or any interaction with your potential client, without you both agreeing to the next steps. So when you've done all you're going to do on this step right here, whatever that is, it could be a discovery call, it could be a full presentation, whatever it is, when you finish doing what you're doing and you're not doing nothing else, you and that person you were talking to agree on the next steps. And that's your final step. Agree on the next steps. So can we talk again next week or 2 weeks from now? Or are we done with this process? We'll pick it up in a few months or a year. But you both have to agree on what are the next steps. So the next step would be for me to send you my invoice and for you to pay it. When will you pay my invoice? When you finish all you're going to do in that particular meeting, whether it's a phone meeting, an online meeting, or in-person meeting, when you end all that you came to do, get agreement on what the next step is. Simply that, always getting agreement on what the next step is not only going to help you to sell your services faster, it's going to help you to sell your services at a much higher percentage. Well, two things. Simply asking for them, you're going to close at a higher percentage, and agree on the next steps. You're going to close your sales at a higher percentage. These are quick tips that I know these tips. If you will implement them, you will sell yourself and your services better. Now, there might be someone that's been watching this already and said, wow, those first two tips were amazing. No one ever told me those things before, or I'm hearing them new now. What else does this brother have? How else can I work with him? With me, it starts with a conversation. Simply text me to 919, and someone could put that in the chat. I cannot. Yes, I can. 919. Let me put the whole thing in there. Text to 919-345-4893. We'll have a conversation then, or I'll send you to my scheduler, where you can schedule your time to have a free complimentary one-on-one consultation with Brian K. McNeill, the sales confidence coach. And the third tip, it would seem obvious to shorten your sales cycles if you would just do what this third quick tip is. Quick tip number one is to always ask for the business specifically. Quick tip number two is always get agreement on what the next steps are. And quick tip to sell your services faster, number three, is simply do not schedule anything too far off. Right. I do not schedule unless it's something really big, a speaking engagement that's booked. We do this in the spring, we do this in the summer, we do this in the fall. But anything else, any client stuff, any one-on-one stuff, any coaching stuff, any corporate stuff that I can maneuver, I schedule no further than 2 weeks out. 2 weeks out, that's right. Because anything past 2 weeks, 100 things could go on to change it. I find any appointment that I schedule that's longer than 2 weeks out, the percentage of those appointments that actually produce an actual appointment is low. I find that percentage of people that I insist on, let's schedule within the next couple of weeks, next week or the next couple of weeks. And I want to do it within a week if I can. I'm willing to go within 2 weeks. The ones I schedule is much more likely that the presentation will ever happen. If they insist, Brian, I'm leaving the country, I can't schedule over the next 2 weeks, I can schedule when I get back. Great. Well, let's schedule that talk for when you come back, and we'll schedule the appointment once you get back. Because appointments scheduled more than 2 weeks out have a low probability of ever being done. So I came here today because it's on a Monday, and it's on the first official day of spring. I wanted to give some value that you can use right away. You can use this stuff that I talked to you today about right away to help you to sell yourself and your services better than you ever have before, so you can earn more money than ever before. Somebody on here is going to want a complimentary session with me. Somebody is going to want to know about my free book. My free ebook. The free ebook is the 1-2-3 formula. And in that 1-2-3 formula, I teach you how to answer the question of what do you do for a living in a simple way that is amazing. If you want the 1-2-3 formula, put 1-2-3 in the comments. Just put 1-2-3 in the comments. It's complimentary. Somebody's going to want a session with me one-on-one. Somebody's going to want to know about any upcoming workshops that I have going on, and I'll be happy to tell you. I'm very accessible. Again, my name is Brian K. McNeill. The last thing I'm going to summarize, I have talked to you guys about 3 quick tips on how to sell your services faster. I see you, Miss Phyllis. I see you, Kimberly. The 1-2-3 formula is coming to you. I talked to you with 3 quick tips on how to sell your services faster. Number 1 is simply ask for the business. Number 2 is always get agreement with what the next steps are going to be. And number 3 is do not schedule too far out. Last thing I'm going to ask you to do. If you were here We've only been here for 10 minutes exactly now. If you were here for these 10 minutes, if you found any value in this time, please put in the comments value, or I found value. Thank you, Brother Daniel. Oh, I'm so happy that you're here. If you found value in these 10 minutes, please put it in the chat, the comments, and I look forward to it. Thank you. It makes my heart sing. What I just did for you is I've been uniquely gifted and qualified to teach people how to sell themselves and how to sell their services. And I believe if I don't do this, I am committing a crime, and I don't want to commit that crime. I'm glad you found value. I'm going to count this as the end of the presentation. You guys have a beautiful time, 10 minutes and 40 seconds, quick hitter. And I know right now, if you were here, I promise you, if you were here for these 10 minutes and 40 seconds, you have earned money. You have tangibly gave yourself a pay raise because of what you just learned. Always ask for the business, always get agreement on what the next steps are, and don't schedule too far out. You guys have a beautiful rest of the day. Have a beautiful rest of your week. God bless.